During approach, how can I filter out structured women who is showing signs of high interest?
Well, you want easygoing, easy to get along with, and a woman who's kind of structured, she's going to be a little difficult. And it might just be something simple like trying to make a date or calling her. You call her and she doesn't call you back on purpose, or you make a date with her and she really wants to go out with you, but she read the book The Rules, and that book says, "Oh, cancel dates at the last minute with no excuse, no reason. Don't call the guy back. You'll get him hooked on you." And so that's the kind of behavior you'll see. That's not easygoing, easy to get along with. Or you go to kiss her in the first date and she turns around, "Oh, I don't kiss until the fifth date." It's like when you got that, that's somebody that's following a set of rules. They may feel attraction, they may want to be with you, but they're like, "No, I have to wait a certain number of days, certain number of dates." And it's not going to be with that. It'll be with other things like, "Hey, this part of the closet is only for sneakers. This part of the closet is for the high heels. This part of the closet is for boots. The dresses go on this side, your shirts go here," and it's just everything will be a set of rules and regulations, and you must do this and you must do that, and the knives all have to be this way in the drawer, and the forks this way, and the plates, and oh, you put the potato chips in the wrong shelf, and the bread's not where it's supposed to go, and so you'll see that kind of behavior. But like when you first doing an approach, what you're really looking for, is she easygoing? Is she easy to get along with? Does she like talking to you? Is her body language facing you? Or does she turn sideways like she's just looking for the right moment to get the hell away from you? You want to pay attention to that. Because a girl is easygoing, easy to get along with. She'll give you your number without hesitation. When you text her for a date or call her for a date, she'll call you back or text you back fairly quickly. She'll be excited. She'll be easy to make a date. She won't go, "Oh, I'm not sure. Check with me next week. Work's crazy." Again, the more she likes you, the less hoops she'll want you to jump through, because she doesn't want to take the risk of turning you off or discouraging you to the point where you just give up and go away or go date somebody else, because she's worried about screwing things up with you. Mm-hmm. So easygoing, easy to get along with, and most importantly, she's got to be nice to you. If she's not nice, you shouldn't date her.
Like, I don't see me and Jack been together for a year now, and we live together in this little tiny apartment. So I have, certain little things that, like chips and bread and stuff, they have to go in the refrigerator because, we live in the water, there's bugs. You don't want your food to be ruined. Or, like I said, okay, only 2 hand towels on the oven. We don't need 4 out. So, because we have to pay for laundry. And, use your towel, 2 to 3 times, and don't use my towel.
Don't use my towel, bish.
Well, I don't mind, but when I want to use it, I don't want it to still be wet, and so
you can't rub his balls.
Ew, I don't like sharing towels. That's
if it happens, it happens. But I would like it to be dry by the time I use it. We have enough towels, but sometimes he ends up using mine. But but I just have certain things like that, and don't bring any more cups home. No more cups or anything like that because we don't have the room for it. So if I didn't set these little tiny structured kind of things, the house would be just full of stuff everywhere and,
And on top of that, you got
dirty.
A giant fucking pit bull that lives there too.
Yeah, and so we barely have any room as is, so we got to kind of have to set little tiny rules. And I'm not mean about it.
That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, when she's in the beginning.
Approaching women, that's gonna, again, if she's easygoing, easy to get along with, gives you the number right away, is asking you questions. If she's a little more masculine, I had a girl, I should say a woman, I met a few years ago. She was 28, 29, pretty famous, pretty hot, really fucking hot. And I had seen her, I don't want to say what she does, but I was like, man, seems pretty sharp, pretty amazing, similar goals, similar values. At the end of the day, she ended up sliding into my DMs, and so we set up a date on the phone, and I started talking to this girl, and she was in her, even though she looks like one of the hottest women you ever see in your life, she was kind of masculine, and so anytime I asked her a question, because I was genuinely fascinated, what is she all about? I see her on TV and different conventions, and like I said, she's kind of famous, but I want to get to know her because I don't really know anything about her. I see the public persona. And so I started asking her questions, and it's like talking to another dude. It was like she would give me some short, politically correct answer, like a politician would give, and then would turn around and ask me something. And she would never answer any of my questions about anything. And I'd seen this girl for years. I was like, man, it'd be nice to meet her someday. And then, eventually she slides into my DMs, which was pretty nice.
Masculine.
And then, yeah, well, no. Sometimes they slide in your DMs are extremely feminine. But this one, just because she was a high-achieving female, she's too masculine, too controlling. And I was really excited to talk to her. And in about 2 to 3 minutes, I got totally fucking turned off.
Really?
And because the other thing is we were supposed to FaceTime, and she was out in like the middle of nowhere, so she had a terrible phone reception, and so we weren't able to FaceTime, and the calls kind of garbled. Every time I would speak, about a fraction of a second later, everything I said would get bounced back to me, and it was real. I hung up and tried calling her back, and it still didn't solve the problem, but I think we ended up talking for a half hour, 45 minutes. But I remember after I hung up the phone, I was just like, what a disappointment. I was like,
Debbie Downer.
I had an impression of what she was like. I mean, she was fucking intoxicating. Still is. But after talking to her for, like I said, first 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, Elvis left the building.
Do you have like an example per se, like how she would answer and redirect?
Well, she would you've seen a politician. You ask them a question and they give you some short, kind of evasive answer. And then they turn right around and try to control the conversation by... Maybe she probably read my book. Maybe she was trying to use my stuff on me or whatever. But it's like I generally didn't know a lot about her. And I had a few things I wanted to know about her. So every time I asked a question, I got some short, kind of dismissive answer. And then she would turn around and want to give me 20 questions, and I was just like, instead of talking to this hot, feminine, submissive girl, I'm like talking to this hot woman this hot woman that sounds and kind of acts like a man.
Boss woman.
It's too much boss girl energy, and it's like I said, it was disappointing. It was a bummer because like I said, I'd wanted to meet her for years, and then eventually she ends up sliding into my DMs. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. But that's what happens, Just you can't go by what you see on the outside. That's why you got to talk and you got to engage with them.
It's true.
Now, if I'd have been younger and inexperienced, I would have made excuses for that, and I would have kept trying. But I got, knowing what I know these days, it's like I got turned off pretty quick. So it was a bummer.
So
that's going to happen.
How did you end not talking to her anymore?
We just had one phone call, and we never talked.
Oh, you never went out actually on a real date. Oh,
no. She wasn't in town. She does come down here quite often, but it was just we were supposed to do a FaceTime date to talk and kind of get to know each other a little bit to see if I actually wanted to go out with her or not. And after that one phone call, I was like, I deleted the number, and I never heard from her again. It's like we just didn't click. But it's going to happen.
What about those girls that have kind of like snappy back attitude, but that's their form of flirting? Like they're kind of like sarcastic and like very... Because when I watched Sex and the City, Miranda, this girl, the one with the short hair, whenever she would talk to a guy or flirt with a guy, it was very like aggressive. Like he'll be like, oh, can I get you a drink? And she'll be like, why? Because women can't get guys drinks.
She's masculine.
And then he'll be like, ha ha, you're feisty. And she'll be like, I mean, if you're interested, you're going to put up with it. Something like that.
Yeah, she's a masculine character.
Yeah, it's kind of attitude. I don't want to deal with that. I want nice, sweet, submissive, kind, easygoing, easy to get along with. I don't want to deal with the boss girl energy.
That's like masculine, right?
Yeah, that's her character is very masculine.
Yeah, this girl, I mean, when you heard the sound and tone of her voice is very feminine, and she's voluptuous, just beautiful boobs, beautiful long straight hair, gorgeous eyes. She's physically perfect. There was nothing I would change about her. But her personality and talking to her, it's like within 2-3 minutes I was totally turned off, and I was really for the most part just kind of being polite the rest of the conversation. And it was like hanging up. I was like, man, it's like the perception you have of somebody and what the reality is. It's like that's the way life is, man.
So you never met up in person? Oh.
I didn't need to. I was like, she talked me out of liking her.
Wow.